Hey, this is Sarah from Politically Incorrect Health. I want to show you how to make SeaSnax today, or seaweed snacks. I'm going to be using roasted laver. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation. Most people use nori sheets or just various other seaweeds. That's what I have available right now. The first thing we want to do is melt our fat. And I recently made some lard. So I'm just going to melt maybe about a tablespoon of that. Other forms of fat you can use are coconut oil, olive oil, even sesame oil I've heard. Any sort of animal fat, tallow. I wouldn't really do butter because I don't think it would go well with seaweed. But pretty much any of those other neutral fats like that would go very well with it. It only takes a couple seconds to really melt. It's already melting. Oh, and while we're waiting for that, you need to preheat the oven to 250 degrees. It's just about melted. Going to set it right over here while I work. I have some real salt, or you can use sea salt, chipotle chili powder. You can also use cayenne. This is garlic or minced garlic flakes. So I don't have any garlic powder. I'm just gonna crush a little in my mortar and pestle. You don't have to have a mortar and pestle. You can just grind it in a plastic bag with something hard, or you can put the minced garlic directly on it, but it's nice to not taste those big chunks. I'm just going to open my package. And there's a lot of seaweed that came in here. We're just going to use a little bit. And you see how thin they are. All the seaweed that's sold looks very similar. They're all cut into these sheets like this. You don't have to use the oven. You can actually use a dehydrator too. I also have a Silpat here because I don't have too many baking sheets. Running out of space. It's good to make a bunch at a time if you can, because as you can see how small these are, they would go pretty quickly. Alright. I'm going to rub the fat on. You just want a little brush like this. Just rub it all over there. It's actually cool enough to put on the counter now. And the fat just helps the seasoning stick. So I'm going to add my salt on top first. Usually with this type of cooking, I don't really measure. I just kind of use my own judgment, as you should when you're cooking. That's when you really learn when things are going to be too salty. It's good when you're first learning to measure things. Just going to sprinkle the garlic. All right, now I'm just adding a dash of chili powder, unless you really want it spicy, but sometimes it can be too much of a bite. It just depends on your preference. And some freshly ground black pepper. And I really encourage you to have fun with this type of thing. Don't really just follow a recipe. This is just something really basic. If you have extra fat, you can flip it over and do the other side. It's really your preference, or you can just make even more. And one benefit to eating seaweed is getting iodine in your diet, because most Americans are very deficient in iodine. It's very important to support thyroid health to have iodine in your diet, and so really the only way people get iodine in their diets is through iodized table salt. And regular table salt isn't very good to eat anyway, because a lot of the minerals, or most of them, have been stripped out of it. And the salt itself has been bleached too. So what we're going to do is going to stick it in the oven. So it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to check on them. I think they're probably ready. Oh yeah, they look very good. Gotta be careful when you're taking it out of the oven. So there you have it. This can be a great snack for you or your kids. You just have small portions at a time, and that's really all you need in one day. And I hope you keep it real in the kitchen.